Breakfast of Champions, Cheerios, Honey Nut, no less. Let's see how long it takes to get somebody here. I wonder if Lee's going to show up today. We missed him yesterday. I want to try to get some of you guys online with me. Let's see. Well, for the first time, I'm on time and nobody's here. Well, par for the course. It's my own fault. Michael SCP, number one. Number one on the day. How are you, sir? Oh, Michelle, I'm sorry. Michelle, nice to see you. Right on the bell, 9 o'clock. Yes, you are. Hello, hello. Bill Witt is here. Good morning. And Richter Belmont. Good morning, Richter. Nice to see you guys. One of the things that's been interesting about these this is coming off tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, it's gone. We'll see how healed I am. One of the things interesting about these morning chats is that we're getting new people in who are poking around on YouTube all over the world. Good morning, Marky 0306. Nice to see you. Now, let me ask a question. Particularly for newbies. Now, I'll have to ask this a little later when we've got more people online. What category are you searching in, and did you find Father Fish through a search? Because I'm thinking about changing the search parameters to entertainment. I did that during COVID, and that's when things went through the roof. Of course, they fell back down into the roof pretty quickly, but nevertheless, just wondering if we can reach people outside of pets, and if that's significant. The legend, Greg 8. Thank you, sir. Good to be with you. Oh, Father Fish, good morning. Young man from Peplin Creek. Thank you, sir. Good morning to you. Akina Tropical, good morning. Hi, Father Fish. Good to see you. I found you when searching for help with planted tanks. Well, that makes sense. So that was, there was a pets category search. Oh dear. I think the cereal is reclaiming its own, seeking an escape route or something. How are you this morning, Chubbs asks. Well, I'm actually feeling pretty good. It's miserable hot here, but that's just the way it is. I'm hoping this week I'm going to get a window in my on my counter that'll keep the cold air here in the office. So I'll have at least one place. I've got a little a little tiny AC unit in the wall. I'm not going to look at it. It's way too messy. But it's cutting the temperature down by 3 or 4 degrees is all. But I've got this huge gaping hole in the wall, out of which most of the cold escapes. So we'll see how that works. Some says hello to everybody. I got a call from Mary Beth last night about the baby. Baby's still alive and still on ventilator. He peed, which was a cause for celebration because it meant that his kidneys are working. So we're just all in prayer for that little one, that he comes to full consciousness. Sad, sad story. Mary Beth will probably be on a little later. We'll let her talk about it. But please be in prayer for the little baby. Chubbs knows all about the heat. LRB said, we all have to follow Father Fish. Did he really? God bless him. God bless him. You know, I'll tell you, if it were not for LRB, Father Fish would still be in YouTube dungeon. I had been online since mid-September until mid-November, October, November, 2 months, 2 full months. In 2 months, I had about 22 subscribers. And somehow, LRB found me and promoted me, talked about me on his community page, made a little comment, and asked his followers to come over and blast me. So out of the blue, out of the absolute blue, within one day, there were literally thousands of people coming over looking at my videos. And I had just finished a video on setting up a brand new 55, which was enormously opportune. I had started it by creating the soil, putting it in the tank, setting it up. The tank leaked. I broke it down, did it again. The tank leaked, second one, within the 2 days. Broke it down, did it again. 3 times we set that tank up. And that was all in that first week when Lucas discovered my channel and sent folks over. And I don't remember what the number is, but within very short order, there were hundreds of subscribers. It just jumped up. And then February 1st, they hit 1,000. But without that first push, I'm sure I'd still be languishing down there somewhere in the YouTube dungeon. So I have nothing but thanks and appreciation for Lucas and his sweet, gentle spirit. And he's saying, I got to repeat this. Greg B says, LRB said we all have to follow Father Fish. My. Well, I hope to get to the point someday where I have the kind of following that LRB has, which is so well deserved. He's amazing. He's just absolutely remarkable. Has the disease worse? Probably than anyone I know. I just wish he'd lived near me so I could sell him fish and get some fish from him. I love his guppies. And I've got a lot of really cool little fish that I know he would love. There's Mary Page. Good morning. How are you this morning? So how was it you found me? Oh, the way that's the way I found you. What is looking for Planet Tank? Oh, through Lucas. Yeah. Well, that was really the key. Um, and it just has made a world of difference. And then in the middle of COVID, what, 2 months ago, about for 2 weeks, I went from 1,200 subscribers to nearly 4,000. That was hitting 100 a day. It was amazing. And then for the 2 weeks after that, it went right back down. And now it's below anything that ever happened before. I'm losing subscribers at a greater rate than I'm gaining them. But I understand the purge is on, the YouTube purge, in which uh, false accounts are being purged from the system. So Dustin, who has God knows 100,000, says doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what your subscriber rate is. What matters is what your viewer rate is. And of course, he's absolutely right about that. Let's see. Yeah, it was fabulous. Fabulous chubs. Mary Page, we love LRB. That's for my shrimp and my galaxy guppies. Well, that's where they came from. Cocky urging, I forgot to remove the uneaten food. Does it affect the water parameters? One piece of uneaten ammonia will rise or not. Yes, uneaten food does matter. It rots very quickly, and it breaks down into ammonia. Now, here's an interesting little factoid. Tetra claims that overfeeding their food does not foul the water. And that's true. You can dump an entire container of Tetramint, the flake, into your tank, and it won't rot. I will leave it to your imaginations as to why. But here's the thing: once all of that food is eaten and purged out, then it does. Then then it becomes organic waste, and it fouls the water. So yeah, excess food in the tank fouls the water. If Lee Wilcox gets on this morning, we'll ask him about that. He's been running an experiment for a while now in which he has not fed his fish for a month, maybe a little more at this point. No food in the tank at all for a month. And his fish are healthy and active, and as he put it, pooping long strands. So they're finding food. And the critical thing to understand is that with one of the real advantages of the deep sand bed, and there are many, is that it allows the tank to produce food. It's like a farm, produce food for the fish, particularly little fish that are in the tank. So your tank is, if it's set up in a way that's at all balanced, it's creating microscopic food as well as various kinds of algae that small fish feed on. So it's actually creating food for the fish, making it a genuinely balanced environment. Keep that in mind as you're keeping fish, that the tank is supplying food for them. You don't need to be dumping huge volumes of food in all the time. And if you want to be really clever, put live food in, especially the kinds of live food that can survive in the tank. Things like Daphne and blackworms, even microworms, things that will be able to live in the tank. Mary Page, let's see. Oh, Kevin said he found me via Lucas as well. Mary Page, good morning, y'all. Just woke up. Father Fish was alone. I was answering phones. Thank you so much last night for your call, Father Fish. Well, we got together with a family last night and we're praying in the hospital. Such lovely people. So give us a report. Do you know anything? Talk to text. Sorry, y'all. I'm a mess. Mary Page, I'm not surprised. My God, what a thing to have to go through. Don't have your bearings yet. I'm surprised. Baby's still stable. Thank everybody for their prayers. Well, praise God for that. This little boy needs to wake up. We need Jesus to touch him with his healing power and bring life back into his brain and awareness, consciousness, so that he will wake up and join us all. Praise you, Lord. Praise you. As soon as Father Fish called, my son-in-law came out and said the baby had peed a little bit, still critical and on life support. Told us if we would just pee, at least we would know his kidneys are starting to work. So that's good news. This baby's coming back to us. We just got to be in prayer for that. Kevin Powell urged everyone to research how aquatic snails breathe. It's fascinating. Well, now I know mystery snails actually will come to the surface and have a little snorkel that they put up to pull air in with. But by all means, tell us, Kevin, how snails breathe, particularly snails that stay underwater, that never come up to the surface. We're fascinated to know, and I'm not sure I do know. Illuminate us, please. Mary Page is burning the candle. She'll be going back to the hospital shortly. Well, take our prayers with you. Khaki urging, is it true that adding salt to freshwater tank will prevent fish from nitrite poison? Well, that's interesting. I don't know. Sodium chloride and nitrite. Sounds like nitrous oxide or something. Makes them happy. I don't know. We'll have to look into that and find out. I don't know that salt deactivates anything. I know it slows the growth of bacteria, which is one of the primary reasons to put it in. It also increases osmotic pressure. Oh, excuse me. It is possible to get nitrites in saltwater tanks. So while it may have an immediate salutary effect, it's probably not long lasting. So my hunch is that salt does not reduce nitrite poisoning, but I don't know. It may. Excuse me. I gotta get it all up. There it is. Mary Page, you're very welcome. Clem, good morning, Clem. Thank you, Khaki. Maybe with a little more milk. That'll work, won't it? Cereal. Breakfast of Champions. Cheerios. Honey Nut. Great for my diabetes. Some have both gills and lungs. Some have the siphon thing. Aha. Well, the siphon thing would be those that have gills. I mean, lungs. Some have gills. That's interesting. I need to take a break here for a minute. I'll be back in about 60 seconds. Hold tight. Getting this thing off the more I want. All right, I'm back. Oh, Lord. Let's see. I have a mystery cell that doesn't have a siphon. It does. You just haven't caught it coming up to the top, breathing. And it may not be a mystery, it might be an apple. But I would assume apple snails have siphons as well. I'm fine. Mary Beth says I'm fine. Oh, whew. Sandam, hello, hello. All right, interesting about snails. Yeah, I'm on diuretics, and I try to make a pit stop before I come on, and I think I did, but I take it in the morning, so I'm up and down all morning. Better than taking it at night and being up and down all night. That I've done that, and that doesn't work. Do you mind? Let's see. Chevy, hello, Chevy. Sam Dam. Chevy Fish is here. Hi, Chevy Fish. Nice to see you. So we're missing Roe and Lee. Roe and Lee sending out, calling, Roe, calling Lee. Come on, you guys. We got conversations we need to have with you. I showed you earlier Richter saying to Chevy Fish, Richter Belmont, I saw you earlier in other stream, but I forgot the name of the stream. Well, Chevy's in all of them. She supports everybody. She's an equal opportunity supporter, is Chevy. Also, probably, likely, and in truth is one of the most knowledgeable hobbyists we have the good fortune to be with on this and all of the other Fish Fam channels. I really wish we could get Chevy to start doing a live stream. She is of enormous value and support. Just a remarkable woman with a story that would knock your socks off. Well, let me tell you guys, she is a brilliant person with the depth of character you don't often encounter. Bragging on you, Chevy. You should probably go away now. Never come back. She ain't that way. She's tough little lady. Victor did that clam. Can't stay today, busy. Have a great day, guys. Nice to see you, Clem. Have a great day yourself. Hello, Michael. Pistolics, multiple aquariums. Hello. Hello, hello. American Cowboy. Hi there. Fish and Tactics. Good morning. You're very welcome, Chevy Fish. It's just they're heartfelt. Heartfelt. Mercy. Oh, let's see. There was something I wanted to talk about. Well, yeah, I got fabulous order of plants in from Dustin on Friday. Got them all tanked. I think I mentioned yesterday, I started doing a video, but most of the plants, some of them I knew what they were. A lot of them I was unfamiliar with. So here I am. I got the video on, looking at them, and I'm taking the bags out of the box in. Oh, look at this. Isn't this pretty? Oh, look at that. Here's another one. Oh, there's a red one. After about 15 seconds of that, I realized it was completely stupid. So I stopped taping and decided to put them all in tags and then go back and video the plants and tanks. Well, that's been slowed down about 2 days because I can't write with this hand and I can't write with this hand. So Monday it comes off. On Monday, I'm going to write the names of all the plants on the tanks and do a video and show you all these fabulous plants I got. Just amazing stuff. Robocop says, ride him, cowboy. Paul C. Hello, Paul C. Ileana, Father Fish, what did you use to make the black water tank? Just almond leaves, or can you suggest something else? That's a really good question, Ileana. The black water tank started with a 200-gallon leaker and we couldn't get to quit leaking. So it was just kind of sitting there. And the reason it leaks is because the bottom corner is completely broken out and patched up with a big glob of silicone. So it does fine until it gets about 16 inches of water. And at that level, the pressure is such that it just forces its way through the acrylic. So I had an employee, this was 3 years ago. I had an employee working for me who was really quite good, tried to keep the plates picked up and neat. Well, someone had brought in a big trunk, and it was a dirted trunk. I mean, it was pretty much a soft wood trunk. Don't know what kind of wood it is, but kind of essentially a soft wood. Was sitting on the floor, and she wanted to get it out of the way, so she put it in the tank just to get it out of the way. 6 months later, we noticed the water was tannin. We had thrown a couple of fish in. They were doing fine. Put a light on it. I had my landlord come in, who owns a glass company, and he built a slider and walls for it. The plan was to put a top on it. We haven't done that yet, and do frogs. We may yet do that. It's been a work in progress, but the big trunk was the source of tannins and black water for that tank. And from then, it's just been a matter of adding lights to it and adding plants. I did put not sphagnum, peat moss. I put a lot of peat moss in it at one point because I wanted to build a mold base that would allow baby fish to thrive. I found that the peat moss made it just way too messy and dirty. So I've taken a lot of that out. There's still some in there, and it still gets kind of swirled up whenever I go in and do anything, which I try not to do. I try to keep my hands out of it. Rarely feed the tank. Very rarely. Mostly tetras in it. A few other oddballs. I did put a discus in the other day, but it looked to me like it was languishing, so I took it out. I've got a pistos in it that are doing real well. I think there's some rams, some pygmy gouramis, are in there. I don't think I've put any. Oh, that's a thought. I don't have any scarlet batis in it, but I did get some the other day, so maybe I'll put those in. I think I probably did at one point. I put shrimp in. I have, although I never find them. I have some vampire shrimp that have been in there for a couple of years that are doing really quite well. I haven't noticed little ones particularly, but the adults are fine. So it's just kind of a work in progress. Did not use anything special. Peat moss and the big trunk is all. I don't think I've ever tested the pH on it. It got hard alkaline water, was set up with hard alkaline water, not soft water, not RO water. So there it is. It's just been kind of it's been set up now for about 3 years. And in the last year has kind of come into its own. So it took a while, it took a good while for it to really become established. I've got about 4 inches of substrate in it and some peat moss on the top. And I try to get a mix of plant growth. One of the things that's interesting is I find that the Aponogetans do extremely well in it, the bulb plants, and are not eaten by any of the plant predators. No, I don't have silver dollars in there, but I've had plant eating snails, um, which I finally found some of. Ro was asking for some. I found a few I need to send to her. So that's kind of the story of it. Let's see, let me back up to where that question came from. It was the wood. Yeah, I would say it was the wood. Combination of the wood and the peat moss. Probably peat moss helped as well. But primarily, yes, primarily the wood. Roxanne is here and Peter, hello, hello. Kevin saying you can't type very fast. Neither can I. All right, we got back to Ileana's question. And moving forward, Lisa Perez. Hi, Lisa. How are you doing? Give us an update. What fish? Yes. Ileana, you're getting there. Aren't we all? Well, good work, Lisa. We're praying for you. A perfect plan, Mary Page says. A perfect plan. Just take your time. How did Father Fish and Lucas meet? Lucas found my channel, which means he had to do some serious rooting about because I was brand new, 2 months old, didn't know what I was doing, had 22 subscribers. I was, by that time, I had probably 25 or 30 videos. I was doing one a day for a while. And he just happened to put a video. Don't know how, never really asked him how he found me. He may not remember. But he was sufficiently smitten, I guess, that he asked his, he liked what I was doing with the dirt. And he asked his supporters to flame me, and flame me they did. I got swamped in one day. It created a spike that was only replicated last month during the COVID thing. It was kind of an unbroken record. Chubs. Wood that is half eaten by termites is one of the best wood you can have in a fish tank because of all the void spaces. Really creates a good place for live foods like scuds to hide. That makes good sense. And if it's got termites in it, they're good for the fish to eat. It's a great fish food. Interesting. Yeah, I like that, Chubs. Wisconsin girl in Florida. Well, hello, hello. How are you? And where are you in Florida? Lisa. Nothing but time, medication, and faith. Besides, I'm at home pumping the meds and trying to follow directions. Yeah, I know about all that. Well, hang in there. Glory. I'm hiccuping here. Uh, do you have a video about the frozen dirt ice cube method? No, I don't. And I need to do that. Um, I just ran across it recently, and it's something I'd forgotten. I knew about it years ago, lost track of it, but it's perfect sense, makes perfect sense, and a perfectly effective way to get soil into a non dirted tank without emptying it and starting all over again. I will do that. I will create some ice cube trays with dirt and stick them down in one of my tanks so we can see how this thing works. Hydra. Oh dear, here we go. Michelle SCP. I have a bunch of Hydra in my tank with a betta, a mystery snail, and plants. I was planning on trading with Panicure C, but was wondering what you suggest to get rid of them. And I'm just trying to remember what eats Hydra. I've had them. Usually get them if you're feeding a lot of brine shrimp and feeding it continuously. If one gets in there, then it'll very quickly multiply. Golly, I had a real bad one year. I can't remember what I used. I got a Hydra. Hydra. I don't like to use the toxins, but sometimes it's really the only choice you've got. Let's see. Hydra infestation cure. How to identify and destroy in days. How do you get rid of Hydra? Manual removal. If you notice just a few, take them out manually. If you wipe with a sponge, you can remove a small patch. But you got to be careful not to leave any particles behind, because if you cut the Hydra, it'll 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 make two. It's like the sorcerer's apprentice with the brooms. Chemical. What are they calling for here? I can't read this. Planaria, it's a Japanese, some kind of Japanese something. Planaria zero is betel nut extract. Betel nut extract. So if you get some betel nuts, you can get rid of it. It's a natural Hydra killer. Safer than Panicure C and safer than fenbendazole. We have a phone call from Mariah. Mariah, my therapist. Hello, Mariah. Well, I'm feeling okay. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing really good. We have some house guests. It turns out that their house situation kind of fell through, and they're staying with us for a while. And there's a couple of critters that came along with them, and there's no cage.
Okay.
A ball python and one of those little gecko lizards, the fat tails.
Sure.
So if you have any containers that I can borrow? Or,
You bet. Yeah, come on over.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go into the studio first. I have to change the dishwater out.
Okay.
Valerie helped me test the water, and it turns out there was a lot of ammonia in it.
Huh.
It was really, really blue.
Wow.
When she did the test. So I'm going to take a lot of water out and replace it. She said something about a chlorinator or something that you have to put into the water before you add it to the tank.
Dechlorinator. Dechlorinator.
Oh.
To remove chlorine. Are you not doing that?
No.
All right, well, pick some up. Come on over here first, and I'll get you some.
Okay. Okay. All right. And hopefully that will fix the issue, and the frogs will be able to survive after.
Yeah, that may be. That may be the problem. All righty. Okay. See you in a bit.
I'll see you in about an hour.
Okay. All right. Mariah. Sweet girl, sweet friend. She's a deep massage therapist who has saved my butt more than once. I see Lee is here. Hi, Lee. Nice to see you. A late arrival, a little bit. Good to have you with us. Wisconsin girl in Florida. We didn't find out where you are in Florida. Wisconsin girl. Let's see. Oh, we were talking about Planaria and Hydra. Planaria Zero is a Japanese product, if you can find it. Hydra predators, here we go. The blue gourami eats Hydra. Mollies eat Hydra, and paradise fish eat Hydra. There are others. Pond snails will eat Hydra as well. So, blue gourami, mollies, and paradise fish. Mollies will be the simplest and easiest. Blue gourami and paradise are kind of aggressive, but those are, and also pond snails. That's the little tiny round snail. So there are a few ideas. Chubs, amazing how some people don't do research and so are so ignorant as to what is so obvious to so many. Not saying that's bad, just saying it's prevalent. Well, true enough. Chevy's asking Mary about the baby. Kevin is scolding Lee, saying that he needs a letter from his mom. Good idea. Lee's another one who's a remarkably fascinating person. Let's see. Digger Jones, easy food for horse-faced loach. Ah, okay, so loaches. Yeah, loaches, that sounds right. Any kind of loach probably would like the Hydra. And you can do it by hand, whatever they're on. If they're on a glass, you can straighten them off, which is a little tricky because they blow up into a little teeny tiny uh, invisible dot. Father Fish told us about you not feeding your fish. That's what it was. Thank you. Yes, Lee, tell us about you not feeding your fish for a month. And give us the video. That's video number 39, was it, or 38? I don't remember. Jennifer J. Puddle. If I bury fluvial stratum under a couple inches of sand, will it still affect the pH? Eventually, but that's really the way you want to do it. Any of the the commercial soils work best if you cap them with a couple of inches of sand. That keeps them separate from the water column, so you're not getting nutrients in the water. And it allows them to create an anaerobic layer, which helps to break down waste. So, the commercial products are good. I don't use them because I need very large amounts, and it's I can do it. I can do it better, cheaper with products from Lowe's. But you want to cap it. Any substrate, cap it. My fish are doing great, Kevin. Thank you for asking. Still have one tetra, just a hardly visible show of the fungus. Yeah, Leah wanted to. I've had that little tetra on my mind, and I really think you ought to remove it from the tank. I really, really do, because it's in effect a carrier, and that could at any time decide to affect other fish. Catch that little guy, put him in a separate container. You can love on him and take care of him and whatnot until he gets better. But I would definitely take that one out of the tank. And any others you see any spots on, just remove them. You don't have to kill them. You can put them in a bowl, in a dish, in a bucket, in anything that will keep them alive and happy until they're 100%. Lee, I would make video, but Sue has been off work and I've been going through a lot of chores she made up for me. So you're on a honeydew list. Lee's working on a honeydew list. Well, that's nice. I know you were painting a week or two ago. That's good. Finniper says, excellent, thank you. I'm doing just that. Ah, right, burying the fluval under sand. Right, Mary caught it too, honeydew. Lee, have not fed my fish in over a month. They're sifting through the sand, nibbling the plants and logs, and still pooping. Excellent. Excellent. Perfect. What are we doing time wise here? Now we got about 5 minutes. So this is interesting. What do we have here? Let's see. I've not been over to YouTube at all. Oh, I need to reload it. Oh, otter fish in the morning. Got 37 watching. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Chubs, can you put a sand cap on already fully planted tank, even with low growing plants like dwarf sage and crypt parva, or should you remove them and put the sand? Yeah, really good question. You can put the sand in and cover them up, and they will eventually grow through the sand. My advice, though, would be to put in about a half an inch of sand, and then just kind of with tweezers or your fingers lift them up a little bit. Pull them up enough to get the crowns to the surface, and then maybe a week later put another half inch in. If you put the sand in slowly, like a half inch, even a quarter inch at a time, you could do a quarter inch every 2 or 3 days, half an inch maybe once a week, and then just lift the plants up a little bit. If you use tweezers, it makes it easy, just to get the crowns close to the surface. You won't lose them. You'll mostly keep the root system intact. Mary Page thinks her internet is lagging. Lee, thank you, Father Fish. I will remove him and all others, no matter how small the show is. I've got a 20 tub and some sphere filters. Thank you. That'll take a load off my mind. That's, I appreciate that. Thank you, Lee. Just do it for me, if not for the fish. It makes me nervous. Paul C. Added some coarse sand from the beach, and the TDS went up to 1,000. Wow. Wow. Gee, I wonder what was in it. That's interesting. Salt. Was it an ocean sand? Probably salt. That would drive it up. You might want to rinse that sand first if you're going to use it again. Paul C, we did that. Patrick Polson, 2 pounds them for 7 days. I have to travel. I tried 4 days before. Everything was perfect when I came back. Yep. No food is good. Patrick, number one, I got 80 glow light tetras, 22 coryhebrosis, 15 coolies, 6 bamboo shrimp, 12 amanos. Would you say I'll be safe? In fact, would you say my fish would be fine for not feeding? Well, you may not have 12 amanos when you get back, but then glow light, you got a lot of little tiny stuff. Just make sure it's loaded up with plants, lots of plants. And if you've got a deep substrate, that'll go a long way toward helping. But yeah, with that level of tiny fish, how long are you going to be gone? 7 days. I wouldn't worry about it. They'll be fine. 7 days is nothing in the life of a fish to not eat. They'll be fine. But do add a lot of plants. That'll give them all something to munch on. Lee Wilcox. I put my sand in an already established deep soil planted aquarium, and I trickled it in using a small jug. I then waved at the plants and said hello. Ah, like that. That's the idea. You got it. Lee maintains a personal relationship with his aquarium. He's probably more in tune with what's happening in there because everybody in there is his friend, with the exception of the plants that grew out that had cut off and messed up. He's not going to do that again. But his tank's remarkable. Go check out Lee's Aquatics, I believe. Check out his channel. It's kind of amazing. Wave the water at the plants and brush off the sand that had landed on them. Yeah, Lee contacted me with a dirted tank that had no cap, so I recommended a cap. And he's been real pleased with the results. Chubb's going to be doing my 75. So that's why I asked him to be doing a video. That'll be great. Look forward to it, Chubb's. Heavy implants and deep substrate. What I would do, Patrick, is you just add the sand in slowly. And you can do as Lee suggested, just kind of dribble it in, float it in. And then you can pull up the plants a little bit if need be, or kind of wave the sand off the plant. Just go slow and easy. Patrick, okay, thanks for that. Always nice to get a take from someone that know how and tried more. All right. I was kind of fine with your answer. I'm sure it'll work just fine. You won't have a problem. Just take your time. Vinegar puddle. Let me back up a little bit. I missed a couple here. Dooby-doo. Okay, I catch tiny fish. Is blue-green algae harmful to the fish? Or is it just annoying? If it's algae as opposed to bacteria, then it's okay. There are bacteria that create essentially slime coats that get mistaken for algae. They're not okay. Typically red or brown is more commonly bacteria than it is algae. Blue-green. Look it up. Don't know. I don't have blue-green. I can't remember having blue-green. I don't think I've ever dealt with blue-green algae. Look it up and see. I'm just not sure, and I'll do a little research on it as well. Finnifer J. Puddle. Will this be too much nitrate? 1 pound homemade root tabs as the bottom layer? Yes. Homemade root tabs. Homemade root tabs. Followed by dirt mixed with 6-month-old fluval stratum and eco complete, topped with sand. Sounds good to me. Go for it. No, I think it'll be fine. Make sure your sand cap is deep enough that you're not going to get any kind of uh, what's the word I want? Any of the dirt working its way up through the soil. You may want to do 3 inches of sand just to be safe. But yeah, that sounds great. Homemade root tabs. How do you do that? What are homemade? Explain your homemade root tabs. Pat, thanks for that. Good. Lee, we did that. Chubbs, we did that. Ileana, it's midnight here in Brisbane. Gotta go. Nice to see you, Ileana. And nice to be in touch with Brisbane. Bye bye. Nice to see you too. Howard uses full filter sand. It's perfect. Full filter sand is just fine. And it's clean enough, you can put it in right through the water column. It'll be a little dusty, but not bad at all. Chubbs at Lee. My girlfriend knows that answer. Yeah, well, I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to say a word. I just kind of let it go by. Smart ass. All right. Chevy Fish. Hi, Finniper. Sam Dam. Trumpet snails eat blue-green algae. Aha. That may very well be why I don't have blue-green algae, because I've got trumpet snails in virtually every tank I have. In fact, I got some of these new plants in recently, and Frank was looking at them and said, they're full of snails. And I looked and they were, but they were full of trumpet snails that had come up in there. Obviously, found something they like to eat. I'm hoping it wasn't the plant, although I've never had them eat plants. Let's see. Finniper is talking us about homemade root tabs. Red clay and dry fruits mixed by hand for an hour and then dehydrated. Fascinating. Red clay and dry fruits. So red clay. So that's a wet clay, I assume. That's interesting. Clay is got a huge amount of nutrition in it. It's a highly nutritional soil because it's so dense. Roots have trouble getting through it, so it needs something to break it up, like sand or mulch or peat or something. But if you can do that, that's a perfect way to be able to use it. I like it. I like it a lot, Finniper. Can I use the juice of minced garlic if it has citric acid? I don't see why not. Citric acid will affect your pH a little bit. Citric acid removes chlorine. Did you know that? Why am I foggy? Is it my... Huh. Your signal is crapping out here. Wonder why. Is it doing it? Interesting. The YouTube signal is real foggy. I'm looking on the duck, and it's on StreamYard, and it's fine. So it's the signal coming through YouTube that's messed up all of a sudden. Well, it's a good time to finish up, I guess. Let's see. Mary Page, Lee, don't make Father Fish put you in timeout. Was it? Well, he wasn't the only one. He wasn't the only one. There were a couple of them in there who were getting a little smart, if you will, just a little smart. Kevin, good point. Remember to turn off filters when adding sand. Yea, verily. Do that? Absolutely. If you leave your pump on, it's going to suck sand into the impeller and it will ruin your impeller. Ileana, Chevy Pictures saying good night to Ileana. Let's see. Soak food for finicky eaters. You can do that. Putting it in the tank soaks it, of course. I don't believe in finicky eaters. I think finicky eaters are fish that have a surplus of food available to them. They're not really finicky at all. They're just satiated. Feed less. Roe is here. Hi, Roe. You made it. Looking forward to your phone call. We need to talk. Let's see. Riviera Furpo. Riviera Furpo. I have this algae grow ground and circular. I've seen it in some of your tanks. How to control and eliminate round and circular. Don't know what we're talking about. Seen it in some of my tanks. On the glass, probably some of the goldfish tanks. I don't have a deep sand bed in those tanks. I simply wipe it off and then try to siphon it out or use a net to switch it out. Doesn't seem to be a bother, just messy and ugly. J Dog got happy with the enter key. Turn the filter off, right? Gotta do that. Howard uses a sponge filter and lots of plants. There you go. That's the key. Love you, Mary Page. Take care and look forward to hearing back later in the day. I will be on at 3 this afternoon. So I'm going to be doing my regular Sunday afternoon stream. So we'll see you all then. Kevin says, I know a twit who didn't, and we know what he's talking about. And there are lots of those twits around here included. Ro got distracted yesterday. My baby girl is sick. Oh dear. Her face is swollen up. Oh my. Well, praying for you, baby girl. We got some new listing on cattails. I listed native Florida fish. So we'll be doing those. And I've got the red plant deal on 6 bunches for $50. And they are magnificent. You'll see when I get the video up the preview tomorrow. Once I can write again. All right, we're going for now. See you all at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Thank you for plugging in. Wonderful to have you all here. Let me get back over to StreamYard so I can sign off. Water Barn, a bit late. Doesn't mean it cannot compliment you with the beard. Bless you. Well, bless you, Water Barn. We're leaving right now. Try to get back on this afternoon at 3 o'clock. We're going to be doing our regular Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock live stream. See you all then. God bless everyone. Have a wonderful day. See you this afternoon. Three, two, one, blast off. Yeah, I was waiting for a countdown. Bye bye, all.